The Xiaomi MITU. Toy drones can be an awful lot of fun. However, one of the real problems with these tiny diversions is they can be hard to fly, hard to get started, and something we try out for a few hours and then never touch again. The MITU looks an awful lot like another drone I really like. Is it any good? Let's find out.
What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Like we've mentioned before, I really like little toy drones. Camera drones are great, but sometimes it's just nice to fly something tiny around your house or in the backyard, having fun without having to set up a big production. When I fly my bigger camera drones, I always feel like I need to get usable footage out of this, to varying degrees of success. But enter the Xiaomi MITU, a tiny little drone from Chinese electronics manufacturer Xiaomi, who makes everything from drones, to computers, to cell phones, to action cameras, to all sorts of things that I can't ever find on Amazon, and if it's not on Amazon, I guess I can't ever buy it. Quickly, I'd like to thank the folks over at GearBest for sending this over. They aren't paying me to make the video, they sent me an email asking if there's something on their website that I'd like to check out, and since I really like tiny toy drones, I asked if they'd send me this, and so that's how we're making the video. Before we get any further into this video, let's get this miniature drone out of its box. Yeah, I actually deleted all of the unboxing footage, so here's the second unboxing. Here it is. And one last thing between us and going out to fly this Lilliputian drone, yes, I have a thesaurus up while typing the script, are the specs. So let's talk about the basic specs of the Xiaomi MITU. It has a 720p camera. It can take 1600 by 1200 photos, I guess. It can do 360-degree flips and rolls, and it has up to 10 minutes of flight time. On the bottom, you'll see an optical flow sensor, and the motors are not brushless. They are brushed, so I prefer brushless. The construction is pretty darn good for a toy drone, and so one thing, and this isn't on the script, but I want to show you this real quick, because this is the battery. I really like the battery design. Like, that's just a neat touch where it's like the whole top. I like that. To use the drone, you need to download the Mi Drone mini app from the Google Play Store. Sorry, Apple users, we don't get this specific app or any way to fly the MITU that I've been able to find. It looks like it's strictly an Android thing. So you open up the app, turn on the drone, do the magic Wi-Fi connection that literally everything on the market does today, including like fridges and stuff, and we're up and running. Okay, we're synced up, fully charged, properly hydrated. Let's head outside and give this a shot. All right, now we're outside and we're gonna test out the brand new to me at least, MITU drone. Super excited. Let's just get flying to it. We connected, it's got the Wi-Fi searching. We will enter our device. Wi-Fi connect to the MITU Mini. I love how easy all this stuff connects anymore. I kind of wish it was like the Telo and worked on the iPhone so I could screen record. We kind of got to figure it out with the GoPro right now. Okay, very first liftoff in 3, 2, 1. Take off immediately. Man, that's pretty stable and quiet. It works really well with the controls. It's, again, just like the Telo, it is incredibly stable. Like, look at that. Not messing with the controls, and it's just like hanging out right there. That's really impressive. Okay, now that we've figured out the basic flying motions, we gotta turn it around. Let's see what little, whoa, let's not hit let's not hit ourselves on camera. All right, now that we got the flying motions down, let's try out some of the tricks, or what we got here. So we've got, ooh. I love little tricks like that. Okay, so there's one, there's two. Let's try the rear. Oh, so we can, okay, nope. So it's got flips in all the directions. Very much like the Telo. Let's do a backflip. Okay, that's not a backflip. That's what I thought that would have been a backflip. It takes a second, so it wants to balance out before it starts flipping again. Now, it's supposed to have electronic image stabilization in it, but looking at the footage, and I'm sure we'll overlay it right now so you can see it too, is it doesn't look very usable. So again, these little drones are more like toy drones, and they're not like actual camera drones, even though they have a camera in it, because this footage is pretty unusable. Let's touch some of the more buttons. So it's got headless mode. Drone is overheating, please land, and we've been flying it for 3 minutes. And the battery's low. So it's landing on its own there, it looks like. Ooh, those motors are hot. Okay, so first flight out of the way. We got about 4.5 minutes of flight out of it. Let's go check the video. Let's, talk about what we think about this little drone. Let's go. And we're back. It's actually 1 day later thanks to the magic of video. So what do I think about the Xiaomi MITU after a couple days of playing around with it? I really like little drones that are super easy to fly. But let's talk about some of the things that I like and some of the things that I don't like about this petite flyer. Again, this Saurus. First up, let's talk about the things that I like. I mean, I really like that it's small, easy to use, and it's pretty darn stable. I mean, it only has the one optical flow sensor on the bottom. Just like the Tello, it's super stable without GPS. I really like that. It is also super quiet in use, which is really important to not irritate your family, your wife and your kid while you're playing around with a flying toy. They don't like to be irritated by that stuff that I find. Not that mine do, but some people might get irritated. I also like how well it controls with just a cell phone connection. Generally, when it comes to drones, you really need a controller to get the best tactile feeling and flight out of it, and it's nice to have a really easy to use toy drone. It's really nice to have a great cell phone control too. The app is really easy to use. I mean, it is confusing to set up, but it does provide access to all of the functions in simple to understand little pictures, which some of us, not naming any names, me, I really need simple little pictures. Okay, now let's talk about some of the things that I don't like, and you know what? There's a deal breaker in here. Normally, tiny drones don't get very good battery life, and that's to be expected. They're really small, and the power supply has to be even smaller. I mean, look at how small that battery is. That battery's tiny. So I expect a shorter flight life. But I've been consistently getting overheating warnings at around the 4-minute mark, and that gives forced landings following shortly thereafter. 4 minutes isn't necessarily a terrible time, but it is terrible when it's advertised at 10. And yes, there is always a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to marketed flight time against reality, but 60% less than expected is too much for me to accept. Also, it's supposed to have electronic image stabilization, and the video quality is unusable out of this drone. And I know that's a small nitpick. Well, I wouldn't really use this kind of footage anyway, but I gotta put it in there so you know what my thoughts are on the video. It's terrible. All in all, I do think this is pretty good as far as toy drones go. However, I can't recommend somebody buy this, because for this price, you could get a Rise Tello, which functionality-wise is pretty darn similar, but it is more true to life in the battery length department, and I've never had it overheat on me. It's for the money. I would recommend the Rise Tello over the MITU. Fun little drone. Too many problems for me to recommend though. Thanks for watching.